Hello there from Lake Atitlan, Guatemala. I'm here volunteering at a retreat center. Might make a video on that later. But yeah, I thought I'd tell you about where I've stayed so far, my tips and thoughts and stuff about traveling here. So the first week I came here with my sister. We did party hostels in San Pedro, and now I'm here by myself at kind of like a retreat center, mostly for like yoga and spiritual stuff in Santa Cruz. So it's been quite two different experiences. So San Pedro is kind of where you stay if you want like lots of commotion, some touristy, like a lot of excursions you can easily plan from there. You can easily do like a sunrise hike where a little van comes and picks you and a bunch of other tourists up at 4 in the morning. You can like rent kayaks there, but I would say it's not the best place for water activity. But it does have probably the better nightlife and bar scene. We stayed at a hostel called Mr. Mullets, which was pretty crazy. Everyone there was kind of between like 20 and 24, so it was a little weird because I'm 30 and I felt kind of old there. It kind of reminded me of like a frat party or like a college party. People would just be like shotgunning beer and like standing on top of the bar. But it was cool. Like a lot of people would actually come from other hostels and just come there for the party for a couple hours and leave. So I would kind of recommend that because you could probably stay somewhere nicer and just come there to party. And let's see, Saturday night a local band came and played, and that was really cool. So I would say if you want to do stuff with nightlife, come to San Marcos for the weekend. You know, you can party Friday and Saturday night and then just leave and go somewhere way cooler. The only other really cool thing in San Pedro is a weaving cooperative. It's called Atitlan Women Weavers, and there's a woman named Anita who runs it, and she actually offers a Spanish, well, yeah, she offers like a cooking Spanish class. So you go with her to the market and you buy food to make a traditional Guatemalan meal. And so you're learning how to cook traditional food from her, but you're also learning Spanish at the same time. And I've heard it's really cool, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't do it. So if you come, you should do it. I will try to find the link and put it below. So yeah, you have to sign up in advance, which I just did not really think about, and it starts at 9 a.m. But yeah, if you're a morning person and you're in San Pedro, totally you should do that. Also, it's really easy to just stay on like the main strip. There's like a few blocks of restaurants and like Spanish schools and hostels. But just like there's a main intersection right by the boats. Like you can go downhill to the boats in the water. But if you just go up that hill, like a really steep hill for a minute, but then after that it levels out, and that's kind of like the real town where like locals live, and there's people selling fruits and vegetables on the side of the street, and there's little markets. And yeah, I would say if you're in San Pedro, you should at least walk around. I don't know, just go explore up there. Obviously, like not late at night or something, but if it's like during the day in the afternoon, that's totally fine. And yeah, it's kind of sad just to stay on that little strip where like only the tourists go. But if you are on that strip, there's a good restaurant called Sababa or something like that, with really good breakfast and like good views of the lake. But next to that, there's another restaurant called La Terraza, and I think it's like even better possibly, and I think it's cheaper. But yeah, there's a lot of really good restaurants there where you can just sit right at the bar and you're like on the lake, but it's still really shady, which is another thing about Lake Atitlan that I notice. It's like the temperature really depends. Like the sun will come out and you'll be really hot, and then as soon as the clouds come or as soon as you're in the shade, it's like actually kind of chilly. So it's one of those climates where you kind of want to bring layers. Like it's just nice to have a sweatshirt on you because all of a sudden you'll be pretty cold, or especially if you're like taking a boat ride back or something. But yeah, so boats, the public boats here, they pretty much end at like 7 p.m. Depends on where you are and what direction you're going. I guess it could be a good idea to like go somewhere at 6. But yeah, pretty much after 7 you can only get a private boat, which isn't the end of the world because it's not horribly expensive. But yeah, so that's why if you do want to party in San Pedro, you pretty much have to either like figure out a private boat, stay out till 6 a.m. or just sleep there. So it's a good weekend spot. There's also San Pablo, which is where a lot of the big crazy parties happen. There was this music festival called like Wizard or something that was like a 2-day techno festival, and it was over there. But yeah, it seems like other than that village, everything kind of shuts down at like 11 if you're in San Pedro, and I think even earlier if you're in other places. So yeah, if you don't care about nightlife, then I would say stay in San Marcos or Santa Cruz. San Marcos is kind of like the spiritual village. There's lots of yoga classes, meditation retreats, like astral projection, lucid dreaming, like whatever crazy stuff you want to do. I think there's like a mushroom cultivation course. Like, I don't even think you do shrooms. I think you just learn about mushrooms, but maybe you also do shrooms. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you're interested in anything spiritual, San Marcos, but also they have the best swimming. So even if you just go for a day trip, yeah, you have to go swimming there. There's kind of like a cliff jumping place. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like cliff jumping, but there's also like a man-made section. I don't know, but yeah, basically when you get there on the boat, you'll see people like jumping off of a really high place, and it costs 20 quetzales to get in, which is not bad. That's like $3 US or something. But yeah, the really tall cliff jumping, it was pretty scary looking. There's like smaller rocks that are more probably like 8 feet or something, 10 feet. I did those instead. And even that was pretty scary, but it was fun. And just the whole area is like full of rocks that people are laying on. A lot of people are laying on them without their tops. Kind of almost reminded me of Spain or something. And yeah, it's a great place to go and read a book or journal and jump in the water. I highly recommend it. But Santa Cruz probably has the best views in the lake, or at least that I've been to. Just everywhere that you are, it's kind of, yeah, for the most part, if you're in Santa Cruz, you're like right on the water. Whereas in San Pedro, you're usually more across the street from the water and there's some buildings in your way. But Santa Cruz, it's just like only a few things and they're built at the water's edge. So if you want a beach party vibe, stay at Free Cerveza. It was a little bit too much of a beach party vibe for me. Like, yeah, they were kind of like blasting like top 20 American music half the time. But yeah, it's a cool place. It's like right on the water. There's like hammocks everywhere. It's really chill, lots of bean bags. But they do have like composting toilets and like, I think like maybe an outdoor showers. I don't know. But if you stay at Iguana Perdida, which is like the lost iguana, that place, it has normal toilets and it's more chill, and I hear the dinner is really good, so I would kind of suggest that one. There's another hotel right next to it that I can't remember the name, but I would say one of those two. And yeah, like pretty much if you're like outside on the patio, you can get like cocktails or coffee or whatever, food, and you're looking at the lake the whole time. And then if you go into the town of Santa Cruz, it's basically like up a giant hill, which you can either walk probably in 20 minutes or just take a tuk-tuk. And yeah, there's a few different things. I think there's like a Spanish language school, and there's like some type of cooperative where like some different places work together. The only cafe I've been to so far was Cafe Sabor, and that one was pretty good. It's like really high. You feel like you're on top of the world, and there's like panoramic views of the lakes and the volcanoes. So yeah, I would say then, so there's kind of the hostel route, but there's also a lot of really cool Airbnbs around here that they're like maybe $100 US a night. So if you're with another person, that's pretty affordable. I saw some that were even like $100 for like up to 5 people or 6 people. So look into that. A lot of the Airbnbs happen to be in Santa Catarina. I think that's how you say it. So yeah, my sister and I spent a night there, which I think I'm gonna make a video about that as well. We'll see if it's uploaded onto this channel. But yeah, really amazing view. You are really far from the lake, so definitely, like, yeah, probably don't plan to go swimming while you stay on one of those top of the mountain Airbnbs in Santa Catarina. But yeah, there might be other Airbnbs closer to the water, you'll see. But yeah, it was like hot tub, really nice patio, like luxury shower, really nice bed, nice kitchen. Just definitely the kind of thing that in the US it would probably be like 5 times the price. So when in Guatemala, you definitely need to try out a luxury Airbnb, because when else?